Okay. I'm going to speak to something that's a little bit enraging, making me furious. But media pundits call rumors around health and wellness of Senator John Fetterman as more staffers leave his office a coordinated hit. Richie Torres came out and said, I know a hit job when I see it. This is about Fetterman's pro-Israel stance, but also the media is talking about Biden's mental decline and John Fetterman's decline. And we need to know, really just overall, how much is the media really going to start defending these politicians? I mean, I really, at this point, media, something ain't right here. We knew something wasn't right with Biden. Fetterman has his issues. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. Prepare yourselves for some madness. Shout out to Case Study QB. Follow him on all of his social media. It's the right thing to do. It's the one thing to do. And I expect all of you to do it.
This was discussed on this show last week, but there have been more developments. Let's talk about concerns regarding Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. 2 more staffers have left his office. If our viewers at home are not familiar, a few recent incidents have raised concerns about his health and fitness. Some of those former staffers or anonymous staffers have come forward. The GOP, interestingly, has come to his defense, calling this all a smear job and offering support. And one of our regular insiders, I should note, Guy Shiraki, is out with a column. Let me quote, this doesn't have anything to do with his health. The left and their contemptuous allies are attacking him because they thought he was a progressive. Now they're furious that he's not singing from their religious songbook. So who would like to start with this? Because it's a drumbeat here. Does he need to write this or not necessarily? Is this John Fetterman?
I think when you have this many staff people, I mean, a U.S. Senator staff is not thousands of people. And when you have this many, including your chief of staff, and some obviously off the record or, not for attribution, and you can understand that because you're thinking, I hope I can get a job again. There's a lot of people who are stepping out and a lot of other people who see, gee, he acted odd here, et cetera, et cetera. I think he does have a health issue. And I think he should be honest about it.
Well, I think both things can be true, and I should be forthright about this. I also had a stroke a couple of years ago, very minor compared to what Senator Fetterman went through. And you are changed after that. There's no.
Listen, there's another person who was also hemorrhaging a lot of staff members. You know her. She was the most popular presidential candidate of the Democrat Party for 2024. That's Kamala Harris. Look, there's a reason why staffers do abandon ship. I mean, one, let's face it, in Washington, D.C., you're thinking about your political career 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, 16 years down the road, okay? And if you are working for somebody that is not all there or will be a detriment to your political career, you're going to want to abandon ship quickly, run away. There's no loyalty. There's only what can you do for me? There's no such things as friends in DC, only enemies and rivals and, backstabbers. I mean, come on. That's just how DC politics work. If you think it's something else, you're gravely mistaken. You find more honor and integrity in ancient Roman politics than you do in Washington, D.C. politics. Oh, wait, that's not correct. Because Roman politics, hey, there was always a bloody knife at the end of it. But Fetterman has some issues. And of course, you have to address it. And not to mention, the man doesn't even show up dressed properly for work. All right. And look, I'm going to be a stickler for this, but, I kind of expect our leaders to dress appropriately, not wearing hooded shirts or shorts when you're going into Congress. I mean, show up respectable for the job. Pants, button-up shirt, jacket, tie. I mean, you got to look the part. I don't care if it's uncomfortable. You got to look the part. I mean, that's what we expect from our leaders. I mean, this isn't idiocracy, but an argument can be made that maybe we are an idiocracy now.
Question that you're never quite the same. And a lot of the behavior that these anonymous quotes are getting at, any neurologist would tell you, oh, that's stroke recovery behavior. And so he may be struggling or he may be going through a process. And these stories in New York Magazine and the Inquirer should have gotten into that, the issue of the process of stroke recovery. And the other thing, and it's not just Republicans coming to his aid. Democratic Representative Richie Torres came out and said, I know a hit job when I see it. And this is about Fetterman's or rather pro-Israel politics. And a lot of the resignations are about his political stance and not about his health.
Allison,
Larry's hitting the nail on the head right there. I'm so cynical about this. I do think that he has health issues, but the fact, just the cadence of this drumbeat is the word that you use. The fact that this continues, this is a coordinated hit. This is the Democratic Party once again saying, we don't like somebody, they're not completely in line with our very far left. You know, we used to revere politicians who got in office and could actually compromise or consider. And it's not that he's rolling over. I mean, yes, he met with Pete Hegseth, but then he voted against him. You know, so it's like, I don't understand.
We talked about on the show that this is the Fetterman model is maybe what voters want to see.
No, voters don't want to see it. And we are an idiocracy. We are in it, especially when you have presidents and senators, not just only Fetterman, because here's the thing, Republicans, you might be laughing at John Fetterman and good old Joe Biden, but the Republican Party is filled with some, well, slow little turtles too, not including Turtle Boy Mitch McConnell, but you got, there's been some Republican lawmakers in the House and Senate that have been found in old folks' homes. There's been some Republican lawmakers who have been called out for their own mental decline, and it seems to be an overall problem. And who's running the show? Well, it's the owners. I mean, the donors. They have the old politicians in, their puppet masters tell them how to vote, and the kindly old, I say kindly, air quote, politicians then do what their masters bid them to do. Not the first time we've seen this.
A forthcoming book, Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again by CNN's Jake Tapper and Axios' Alex Thompson detail signs of Biden's decline while in office. No doubt concern over this book caused somebody to advise the Bidens, poorly I would argue, that they should make their first joint appearance since leaving the White House on The View as a preemptive showing of stability and cogency. But it backfired when the former president was asked about reports of his decline. He didn't address the question directly, trailed off after about 60 seconds, leaving the former first lady to have to jump in.
You know, one of the things that well,
and Alyssa, you know, one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us.
If anything, the appearance whetted the appetite for Tuesday's release of Original Sin. Meanwhile, the press has not been Biden its time. The book has already been widely reported upon and reviewed. The New York Times calls it a damning portrait of an enfeebled Biden protected by his inner circle. The Washington Post, equally harsh. From their review, the result of more than 200 interviews, the book is a damning account of an elderly, egotistical president shielded from reality by a slavish coterie of loyalists and family members united by a shared, seemingly ironclad sense of denial and a determination to smear anyone who dared to question the president's fitness for office as a threat to the republic covertly working on behalf of Trump.
Or the Russians, or your channel gets censored, or you get demonetized, or you get vilified. How many of our friends in independent media have dealt firsthand with the censorship from the Biden-Harris administration censorship machine? You know, it wasn't only just Hardlands media. It was a lot. A lot. These past 4 years, it was a lot. Takes a toll on a person. Makes a person go a little crazy. Because you got to wonder, am I crazy for saying that Joe Biden is not all there? And then all of a sudden you find out that, no, it turns out he's not there. He wasn't there. Original Sin. Original Sin. Just want to pull this up here. This is from Gio DiBata, who says, if you still need proof that Uncle Ruckus won't lie to your face, breaking. Representative James Clyburn says he believes Joe Biden would have been able to perform the duties of the president for another 4 years. What? 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 I mean, look, Fetterman suffering from a stroke. That's one thing. Yes, it will change you. It will. It will. But also for the fact of so many people are in collective denial. Even the media. Even the media is in collective denial, too. Case in point right here, David Axelrod, Jake Tapper, the writer of Original Sin, and Van Jones himself put on quite a performance pretending that they had no clue about Joe Biden's mental decline. Jake Tapper, you know, and good old David Axelrod, and of course Van Jones, who, you know what, he's close to my heart. It's this.
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. Say it again.
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
You were on the record in 2022 voicing concerns about Biden's age and ability. Whom do you blame for the decision of him to run for re-election and the decision to hide his declining abilities as much as they were able to?
Well, look, at the top end, you have to blame him because he made the decision. But he was, and your book reflects this in many different ways. He was shielded by a coterie of advisors and his family. They were in this confirmation bubble, and they tried to shield the world from his decline, and they tried to shield him from his own standing and his polling numbers and so on. And so at the end of the day, I have to point the finger at the people around him who didn't do him a service by encouraging him to continue. I think it was obvious to the public. It may not have been obvious to a lot of politicians. I actually think it was, but it wasn't politically wise in their judgment to speak out. But it was obvious to the American people, even before that debate, that the president was just too old. He would have been closer to 90 than 80 if he had won re-election, and he already was showing decline. So,
but they're pretending not to know. How many times have we seen these people say that Biden was in perfect health? How many times have we seen these people say that Joe Biden was fit? How many times have we seen the people also cover for Fetterman and everybody else? But also, yes, even conservative media also covered up their senile politicians. So it's all a system of lies.
I blame the people around him because real loyalty, and it's hard when you work for President Jake to tell them hard truths, but real loyalty demanded that they say, Mr. President, it's just not there and it's not in your interest, and it's better for you, the country, and the Democratic Party if you leave now.
Van, I remember how emotional you were in the immediate moments after the June 27th, 2024 debate, because...
You mean this right here? This right here?
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah, that one.
Of what you saw on the stage. And with all this new reporting coming out, and I should disclose that I gave both of you copies of the book so you would have a little bit more information. Do you feel like you were duped, Van? Like, how do you feel?
First, this book is extraordinary. I don't.
Oh, wow. A book in which everybody knew with the foregone conclusion. I mean, come on. Stop lying to me. Stop lying to me.
Who you are, left, right, or otherwise. Anybody who cares about this country and about just the dynamics of power, this is the emperor's new clothes playing itself out in real time. Everybody knew, but everyone was afraid to say, except for David Axelrod for 2 years, that something was wrong here. And so, yeah, I was shocked. I love Joe Biden. I don't like him. I love him. I got a chance to work with him when I was a part of the Obama administration and loved him more every day. I was shocked to see his condition when he came out, and so was the world. And that wasn't the first time he was in that condition. The book makes it very, very clear. There are people who knew and said nothing. And that is a crime against this republic. And I think the Democrats are going to pay for a long time for being a part of what is now being revealed to be a massive cover-up.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. Remember, the media also has a responsibility here too, okay? The media does. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. Start your tape right now.
Yeah, start your tape right now. You know what it tells me here. Here's what I think about it. Here's what I think.
And here's what I think about it.
I mean, come on. The mental decline is there, and the media knew it all. The media had it. Everybody knew. Everybody knows that there's something wrong with Fetterman. His the way he presents himself, the way he dresses to work, the way he's been speaking, the way he's been moving, his recent health scares, just like with Joe Biden, it's clear something's wrong, something's not right, nothing's okay, and everyone needs to be a little bit concerned of. Okay, what comes next? Because according to my watch here, listen, if you're not a spring chicken anymore and you are a liability, you're going to damage your political party. And Democrats and Republicans play this game over and over again, and they constantly lie for their politicians because it's all about the donors and the money, and everyone wants to lie. So they're going to have somebody that's easily controlled. You know, somebody's not physically fit or mentally there. They're going to be easily more to push aside to help out with whatever their corporate owners want. That's just how it's done all the time. It's how it's played. That's how the game is played. And I, for one, would say, okay, Democrats, you want to rebrand yourselves, fine. But people will never forget how you lied, how you censored people, how you suppressed people, how you dismissed people, how you hurt people, how many people who were being critical of Joe Biden, and of course, by turn, Fetterman, you know, how they still have that scar of censorship and suppression. And of course, online bullying. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So yeah, be afraid here. Be concerned here. Be worried here. This is a sign of when a republic is failing its people. And we wonder why there's an oligarchy. I could yell and scream into the ether, but now it's up to us. We can't vote our way out of this. Who are you going to vote for? Senile Republican politician? Senile Democrat politician? The media lies, and then they write a book. Oh, Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper's going to make a good pocket money. There's going to be enough suckers, readers out there to read that book. But the thing is, Jimmy Dore called this out. Hardlands Media called this out. Due Dissidents called this out. INN called this out. RBN called this out. All our friends on the left and on the right. Larry Sharp, he called this out. He's a libertarian. He called this out. Even you, my viewing audience, called it out. Everybody saw it. Everybody knows about it. The media and our politicians will lie, 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 lie.